everybody, it's Queen of Light 1111 here with a reading for all of you about the 1111 portal. Okay, so what I did was I did an energy, doing an energy check-in, obviously, like I always do. But these are energies that are either going to come up or be illuminated as part of this really powerful portal. And there's going to be a lot that comes up and that really kind of gets this connection moving again. Okay, it's very, very stuck. I'm going to say that right now, just as you guys prepare yourself. There's a lot that's hidden in this connection. We get the moon's energy a lot. We do also have, healing and renewal energy, but there's a lot that is there's a reason for this pause in this specific connection right now. There is a major transformation and ending happening at this time. And so I want to go ahead and get started. By the way, for those of you who haven't watched my latest video, I am doing a twin special service, and it's only for a very short period of time. I don't know how long I'm going to do it because I'm just starting the actual sessions this week, and I want to make sure that I have energy to serve all of you. So I'm just kind of peppering those sessions in. So this is a twin flame blocks reading with a healing session. Before you even decide to book, two things. One, go to my website and read the service and take a look at it there, okay, what the description is. Once you look at that, email me your pictures. Do not book the session unless you send me unfiltered pictures of yourself and your twin where I can see at least, at a minimum, the torso to the head, and the eyes need to be very clear in the pictures, okay? And yes, it's okay if their pictures are separate from each other, but they must be unfiltered and they must clearly show me their eyes and your eyes all the way down to your torso. Full body pictures are preferred. So once you send me those emails, I will email you back within 24 to 48 hours and let you know if I am going to agree to do the healing and the reading or if I am not. I've had to unfortunately turn some people away, but it was for the best for them and their connection because it wasn't quite ready for me to heal. I don't want to get in the way of people learning their life lessons, okay? If there are things to heal, energies to be removed, I'm happy to do that. But if I go in there, when I look at those pictures and I see that someone is learning a karmic lesson at this time, and it is one that neither you nor I should be intervening in, then I will politely decline. And that should really be the case for any healer or anyone like that, because we are in this world to learn lessons, to go through karmic cycles, to go through lessons, and we don't want to rob people of really learning and completing cycles, okay? And so, if there's energies of like blocks and things like that are stopping you guys from coming together, but it's not deep, dark karmic energies, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to open the roadway for both of you. But if there is a deep, dark lesson going on for one or both of you, then you should honor and respect the place where either you or that person is at that time. And so, I do have some sessions already booked, and they've worked out wonderfully. And so if you are interested in this healing for you and your connection and this reading on the blocks that are affecting you and your union, then go to my website first, read the description of the service, and then email me pictures. Once I agree, then you may book your session. If you want to book your own personal reading with me, go to queenoflight1111.com. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the theme of the reading. We've got the theme for the masculine, theme for the feminine, and theme for the connection. So there is a lot going on with the masculine today, right? So he's coming up as the King of Cups, clarifying this energy here. And by the way, any and every deck that I use is listed in my Amazon storefront. So if you want to look at those, purchase any, go ahead and go to my storefront. Also links to my website and how to book a reading are also there as well. So he is very much in this energy of self-interest, self-indulgence, ego, pride. Okay, why? Because he's in the King of Cups energy. His emotions, something, he has been wounded or he's feeling rejected. There's something there about his feminine that, because this is the theme for how, he's feeling for his feminine, what's going to come out in this reading, that he is in this energy. And when this card comes out, this card of obsession and delusion and self-interest, this is because, he was in his feelings. He was in his feelings, and perhaps his feelings were hurt. And so now he's isolated himself. His own reflection is his only companion. And he's maybe reassuring himself with false truths, okay? And maybe only seeing what he wants to see. This is also an energy of creating an ideal or some sort of delusion that, he's never going to be able to achieve, because in fact, it's not even reality. Perhaps he's creating problems that are bigger than they are. But he's definitely in his pride and his ego, and it is because his emotions have been impacted by his feminine. The feminine is in an energy of she's putting the past behind her. She is freeing herself like the doves from the past to go towards this new beginning. She's done with the same old, and you can very much see that in the energy of our feminine, that with this 11-11 portal, she is done with the imbalance. She is done with this feeling of this connection not working out. She's done with the conflict, and she is defensive and guarded against this energy, against her masculine, and she's very much wanting to create new reality, a new beginning for herself, okay? The connection. What is the theme for the connection? Well, the connection right now, they are completing a very, very significant cycle in their connection, in their spiritual connection. This is about a spiritual bond, a spiritual connection. This is about reaching out, but there is a major completion that is happening with this connection at this time, okay? So let's just go ahead and get started. Bottom of the deck for the head, heart, and environment for the masculine and the feminine energies is this Patience card, which is the card of temperance with happy family. This is like the Four of Wands card. So there's definite pause in this connection on creating a union at this time. The bottom of the deck for the masculine's head, heart, and environment has everything to do with success and ego, and that being wounded at that time. The bottom of the deck for our feminine is that she is pausing on creating and building anything long term with her masculine at this time. Let's go ahead and get started. Bottom of the deck. I'm sorry, I already went bottom there. Headspace for our masculine. We have the Destiny card, which is the wheel and the goddess of the moon. When the wheel energy comes out, this Destiny card comes out in this deck. This is all about, destiny. This is all about cycles. This is all about, hard work and success and growth and life's ebbs and flows. And when it's paired with the goddess of the moon card, it's really all about, we're coming into a powerful moon too, by the way. The full moon, I believe, is on, it's early in the week. So this is really about going within. This is about intuition. This is about this reflective moon, showing things through the dark. This is about that, trying to find the power within himself to go into his intuition, all right? That he has this ability, and that these things that are hidden, he has to go within, to the shadow of the moon to have illumination. So let's further get into his headspace, okay? And I'll tell you, it is challenging for both of them. So in his headspace, when he thinks about his feminine, we get the Star card now. So now we have the moon, and we have the star, and we have this Destiny. So the Star card is about destiny, is about being guided to your destiny. It's about hope. It's about renewal. It's about wishes. Okay, so the Star card's the first card that comes out for him as we drill down into his headspace. He's thinking about hope, renewal, healing. There's lessons here that he has learned that he needs to heal from, because I said, what about those lessons? Five of Swords. He's feeling very defeated. So this whole energy of a cycle completing, his ego being wounded. He's healing from these lessons that he's learning through this connection, where he's feeling the defeat. Okay, the kind of self-defeating thoughts, the defeat of this connection at this time. And he's going into evaluation, judgment. He's going into evaluation. And what about Judgment? He's going within. Two of Swords. So two cards now of going within. Going within to look at what this situation is about. Why are we in an energy of defeat again? How is he going to truly learn the lesson? And how is he truly going to get out of this dark energy where now we are at a pause in this connection again? The next card that we have in his headspace, there's a major imbalance. There has been an imbalance in this connection. What is the imbalance? Magician. He has no idea still, right, how to manifest this connection. And why? Because with the Chariot card, he doesn't know how to move forward because he hasn't truly healed that dark shadow within himself with the light within himself. In order to move forward in the Chariot's energy, you must balance the light and the dark. And that is why we have this goddess of the moon with the star and Judgment, which is that he needs to go within his shadow, Two of Swords, halt this connection, go within himself and heal, learn the lesson, balance things out so he can manifest something. Okay, what else is he thinking about? He's thinking about this Five of Swords. See, the Five of Swords plus the Two is the Seven of Swords energy. Deceit, manipulation, self-sabotage. He's looking at why he's defeated. He's left the Two Swords behind here, which is the stalemate. See, we got the Two Swords here, clarifying Judgment, and the Five Swords with clarifying the Star card with the Three of Pentacles. He's looking at himself in why this connection has been defeated again, why he has sabotaged this connection again. And what is the clarifier? The Tower. The Tower has crumbled upon him again. The universe has come in and said, masculine, you've got to learn this lesson. What about the Tower? The World. This is going to be, I really feel like this is why we have the World card here with this spiritual connection, is that this has been the biggest lesson for this collective, is this masculine Seven of Swords energy, this deceitful, manipulative, thievery energy that has always really hurt the connection, whether it was deceit about third party, deceit in general, not sharing whole truths. The Tower has come upon it again. And remember, we are in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is when things slow down for things to come up again to be healed, for things to be illuminated. So what has come up to be healed in this connection? Seven of Swords. This deceitful energy has got to be crumbled. It was like maybe the final brick that was still there. That was not going to work in a new foundation of this connection. He just cannot operate in his life like this anymore with anyone. And so this card, the Tower, crumbled again, and he's forced with the Seven of Swords, the Five of Swords here, that he's learning his lesson. He's healing that lesson, and he's got to go within again. That's why those Two of Swords were put down into the ground in this card. He's got to go in there and evaluate himself, judge himself again, and fix himself so that he can balance things out for movement forward. So now, the energies for our feminine, Waiting Game and Archangel Gabriel. This is about expression, and the waiting game is obviously about waiting for an opportunity to do something, waiting for an opportunity to speak. Okay, so this is an energy. Remember, I did a reading, I think it was last week, about we are in no communication anymore. There's no communication. So perhaps she's not communicated to him, or he's not communicating. And so in her headspace, she's thinking about this communication that has either happened and now they're not in communication, or communication that still needs to be had. And so now when we further drill down into her energy in her headspace, here's what we get. So remember, this has to do with communication. Knight of Wands. This is a desire to want to move forward to a new beginning in this material world, right? But this Ten of Pentacles, this legacy, remember, that's the bottom of her deck for her clarifiers. There is this desire to build this long-term connection, okay? There's this desire to build this long-term connection with her masculine, have this new beginning, but she's very guarded against it. She doesn't want it from someone who is not communicating, who is not in the same vibration with her. And that is her biggest burden, Ten of Wands, when she thinks about her masculine. And here's the masculine, King of Pentacles. This also could be an energy of there's a lack of stability. Remember, he's got the Two of Pentacles here. He's juggling. He's imbalanced. So the biggest burden in this connection is this lack of stability with her masculine. And I said, well, what else about this burden? I said, it's about success. I feel like it's also his pride. It's also his ego, okay? And that he's maybe too much in his own self-love and in his own self-interest, that he is not reciprocating back to her. Remember, he is in this energy of self-interest because he's been wounded, or he's been rejected, so he's self-soothing. And so right now she is guarded about this connection and anything long-term with him because there's a lack of stability, there's an ego, and there is an air of just him just being in his own self-love, own self-interest. And so finally, King of Wands, here's the masculine. Again, this energy of the masculine, of the action masculine, but it's clarified by the Four of Swords. So there is a retreat. So what's happening in her headspace is she desires a new beginning, but she's very guarded about building anything long term because he's not stable. In his ego, and he is in his self-love only, but in the shadow aspect where no one else matters, no one else's feelings matter, just his. And so there is this retreat from the King of Wands where he is not taking action towards this connection. Okay, so what's in the heart space for our masculine? Well, we get the Universe card. Here's the World card. Here's the World card. So this is about him completing his healing. Healer of the Ages clarifies. This is about coming into balance, coming into union with himself. All right. I really feel like this needed to happen. Whatever this tower was needed to happen so it could completely complete this healing for our masculine. So what else is in his heart space when he feels for his feminine? First card out is Justice. He knows, despite his licking of his own wounds, despite his ego, he knows that he needs to balance things out. He knows there's an apology there. He knows that things are off balance and that things need to be corrected. It's clarified by the King of Pentacles, which is our divine masculine. He knows he needs to stand in this stable power to balance things out. What is he balancing? This confusion, Seven of Cups, okay? I don't know. Maybe he was, talking to other people. Maybe he was, focused on other things. Maybe he was just focused on himself. But he was procrastinating. He was too much up in the clouds. He was chaotic. He was not balanced. And so in his heart, he knows that he has to come to balance in his emotions, he has to come to balance in his mindset, and he has to be stable. It's so great that he knows that in his heart because it shows up in her head. The second thing that is happening in his heart space, Four of Wands, he knows that he wants a union with his feminine, but I said, what about the union? Stress, Nine of Swords. He's stressed about it right now. He's stressed because he feels her leaving him. What is the stress, I asked? Two of Pentacles, that there's an imbalance in the connection, that he is imbalanced. Remember, it already came up here. Two of Pentacles, clarified by the Magician and the Chariot. He doesn't know how to balance out this manifestation and movement forward. He doesn't know how to balance out his emotions from his actions. So it's keeping him in stress and it's keeping the connection stuck. The next card in his heart space, Three of Pentacles. He's learning his lesson. Remember, in his head space, he's very aligned. He's got the lessons that he's learning about this love. He knows he wants this, but this Ace of Cups is also here in her headspace where she sees him just loving himself only in an egotistical way. And that is what he's also learning. Ace of Cups, Three of Pentacles. He's learning that, love is yes within him. He must love himself. But if he is to be part of this connection, he must show and act on that love with his feminine. Next card out in his heart space, Eight of Swords. That things are stuck. He's mentally stuck. He's mentally stuck in his imbalance. What is stuck? The Fool. Moving forward. And here we had the Fool for her. She's like, I'm going on a new journey. And he's like, my journey with her is stuck. So now what's happening in her heart space? Conflict and defeat and financial constraints. Financial constraints in this card, when it's a love reading, has to do with rejection, separation. So this is Five of Swords. Okay, we're getting this a lot, guys. This is a lot of fives in this reading. Five of Wands, Five of Swords, Five of Swords. We've got another five here for him. Five of Swords. I don't know. Oh, Five of Pentacles. It's coming up, but there's a lot of fives, which is a card of challenge. And so in her heart space, she's like, I can't. I'm done. I'm going to accept now. She is in a place of acceptance. I accept now where we are. I'm accepting this separation. And so now when we drill down further into her heart space and into her acceptance, what are we getting? Seven of Swords, right out the gate in her heart. She's like, there's this deceit, there's manipulation. Here's that Five Swords, same card. Some cards have him holding all of the swords, but here it is again, Five Swords. She's like, I'm taking the loss. I'm leaving what I learned behind, and that this connection is at a stalemate. I said, what about the Seven of Swords? High Priestess, intuitively, she knows that something is being withheld from her. Intuitively, she knows that something is hidden, and she is the wiser. I said, what else about this High Priestess, Seven of Swords? Five of Wands. There's this inner and outer conflict within both of them. So in her heart space, she has conflict. She knows that there's something is off. Okay, she knows it. And so she's like, I cannot stay around for this anymore. I am going to accept the separation. The next card we have is the Chariot, which is all about that balancing of the light and the dark, except here, both horses are in the light, and it's interesting that that came up for her. In her heart space, she is the light. She is moving towards the light, okay? But King of Cups clarifies this, and remember, here's the King of Cups here. She will only move towards him if he balances it out. Okay, but for right now, Five of Pentacles. She's rejecting this connection. What about the Five of Pentacles? Two of Cups. She's rejecting this connection. And there is an ending. In her heart space, there is an ending to manifesting this connection with him and an ending to speaking the truth. She's just done. She feels like she's spoken her truth enough, and now she's accepting that this connection is not a match at this time. It's not a match at this time. And I think, honestly, that the feminines, that's a good thing to do, because you don't know when he's going to learn the lesson. I will tell you as a reader that he is in the thick of this final lesson, but we don't know how long it's going to take. And she should not be in this waiting game energy. Should not. Should not. What's happening in the environment of the masculine? Well, in the environment, there is this here harmony. He's got three major arcanas in his head, heart, and environment. This is the Lover's card, but he's not doing anything. He's just staying in the safety of his garden, not taking action towards his feminine. That's what he's doing in the environment. Why? Because he's licking his wounds over here, not doing anything, not doing anything. This is why I'm saying feminine cannot wait around. You are stalling your own personal destiny. So in the environment for the masculine, first card out, it's the Empress. This is our divine feminine. What about it? He does want to move towards her. He does want to move towards his destiny. And he does want to have a reciprocal connection. And he wants to move forward, Knight of Cups. But he's on the fence again, Two of Wands. See, this is why I'm saying, feminines, you can't wait. Because it's like, I want, but I'm not taking action. Here's the action card, but then we get stuck in the Two of Wands energy, which is like, which way to go, which way to go? Two of Pentacles here, Two of Pentacles here. Now we got the Two of Wands here. So unsure how to balance in his head space, unsure how to have the union in his heart space, and then unsure how to move forward in love towards her, right? So then he gets guarded, Seven of Wands. He gets guarded around coming forward, Knight of Pentacles. And so what happens? He accepts defeat. Five of Pentacles, he accepts the loss. So I feel like, he's in an energy right now because he's too much in his own feelings of accepting defeat, accepting loss. Okay? He knows this is divine connection, but this is a little bit, and I'm sorry if you're a masculine watching this, but this is a little bit of a lazy energy, right? You cannot be in constant imbalance all the time. You've got to balance it out. You got to balance it out because you're going to lose a feminine who has been there for you, right? Who wants to be there for you. And we see so much great potential in him. The feminine does. Why do I say that? Because he comes up as the King of Pentacles. He comes up as the King of Wands. He comes up as the King of Cups. She still sees him as a king energy. And the masculine loves his feminine. She's the Empress to him. There's no other queen. Only the Empress. But wanting and desiring is not enough. You've got to take action. So what do we have here? For the feminine in her environment, transformation. This is the Death card and walking away. So do you see how interesting this is? Here, he's in the gate. Oh, I'm scared to move towards my union. And where is she? Death, walking away. The gates are open. She's walking away. So in her environment, she's working very hard to walk away from this connection. So now, let's drill down further into her environment. First card out, Eight of Cups. Boy, does that not tell you she's walking away. I said, what is she walking away from? Two of Pentacles, this imbalance. She's done. She's done with the imbalance. So she's walking away from this connection, and she's walking away from the imbalance. The next card is the Eight of Wands. Okay, that's communication. I said, what about communication? Eight of Wands again. I said, all right, what about this communication and movement forward? Seven of Pentacles. It is halted at this time. It is paused at this time. Remember, that's the bottom of the deck for her. Remember that. No communication, no movement forward. But it's not because somebody made a choice. It's because she made the choice that I'm not investing in this connection right now because there's too much conflict. I am defensive because he is not aligned. He is not coming forward. Judgment. She too, like him in his headspace, is evaluating this connection as the Queen of Pentacles because she wants to end this painful cycle. It has been a cycle. It has been a cycle of false starts and stops. And the last card, the Devil's energy in her environment. But I like this one. See, she's not chained. She's in the cage, but the door is open. And she's trying to find her way out to get her clarity. Okay? That's the energy for the masculine and the feminine. Now let me tell you what's going on in the connection. The bottom of the deck is there is a halt, Two of Swords on the Six of Wands on any success at this time. There is a pause on success. First card out, the Moon. Things are hidden. What is hidden, I asked? This offer, Page of Pentacles. I said, I need more. What the offer is hidden? Strength. This is that pride. This is that ego that he's hiding behind at this time. That is why that offer is not there. Hanged Woman. This is the Hanged Man. This is another card of suspension. I said, what is suspended? Knight of Swords. This is the truth is suspended at this time. Movement and action towards the truth is suspended. I said, why? Because of the Moon. Because why? Let's go back to the first card. Because the offer is not ready, because people are in the shadow of the Strength card, in ego. So now we have what's hidden is this offer, and what is suspended is movement forward. The next card, suspension, Seven of Pentacles. Suspension. What is suspended? This clarity, this truth. I said, what about this clarity and truth? Chariot. We already got this. We got it for her. We got it for him. And here we have the silver and the gold. They need to be balanced. So it's showing us a continuation of the masculine's energy, that the shadow and the light must be balanced in order for movement forward. And it's not yet. That's why we are in a pause. The next card, Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. What about it? Stress. There's a lot of stress around it. We cannot achieve this Ten of Cups yet because we are in too much suspension, because things are hidden, because things are out of balance. Ace of Cups. There's this desire for this love, but what about it? We want to move towards it, but we are moving away from it right now. And then the final card, the Sun. This is the most positive card in the deck. But to me, in this lineup, this is about illumination. Here's the Moon, and now we have the Sun. I said, what about the Sun? What gets illuminated? Seven of Pentacles. Things are getting illuminated through this pause. Remember, Mercury retrograde. Embrace it. Embrace it that you're not rushing into this connection because things are coming to the forefront. I said, what is coming to the forefront? This divine partnership. What about the divine partnership? That we have been mentally stuck at this time, and that is what we are healing. So that is what is being addressed at this time. This mental stuck energy, this ego, this selfishness is all paused in this connection at this time. And the good news is the feminine continues to move forward, continues to move away, does not get stuck, continues to focus on her personal destiny while her masculine gets through these energies. So this is the energy of the portal, that they were releasing these things, and the feminine is moving forward. The masculine will release, the feminine will release pain, and then we'll see what happens. But this is what is the energy from now through the 11:11 portal, or through the 11:11 portal. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you get some extra clarity. And if you want to book your own personal reading with me, go to queen1111.com. Queenoflight1111.com. Bye.